finished Mona Lisa was purchased by King Francois I and became part of the royal collection. She would later survive a revolution, theft, 2 world wars, several attacks, and journeys across the world. But Mona Lisa bears traces of her past. See this split that nearly disfigured her? The wood panel was deformed by humidity, while the painting hung in the bathroom of King Francois I. Ah, yes, this may look like a canvas painting, but it is actually oil on poplar wood. The panel's dimensions made it possible to paint a large, life-size portrait of Mona Lisa. The painting left quite an impression, but its colors have since changed. And the cracks, well, the varnish has yellowed, darkened, and cracked to the point of obscuring original details and colors. I would like to show you a different side of the Mona Lisa that I know. Lisa. Madonna Lisa del Giocondo. In 1503, Mona Lisa was only 24 years old, already the mother of 5 children. Little did she know her portrait would become the most famous painting in the world. She was called La Gioconda in reference to her husband Francesco del Giocondo, a wealthy fabric merchant from Florence. The portrait may have been intended for the couple, but it remained in the painter's possession until his death. The artist dies childless, having acted as his own king, priest, and god. And this painting is much more than a portrait. It is the crowning achievement of a lifetime. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions, and Lisa has not been completely immune to unfounded speculation. I know that her virtue was often questioned due to the appearance of her hair, which was previously believed to be loose. What nonsense! A young lady of her station would never have worn her hair loose. She is wearing a cap and her hair is tied. A few loose strands frame her face. There was also talk of her being pregnant. Oh dear, that varnish makes us see things that aren't there. No need to explore what's under the paint to see that she is superbly attired. Her clothes are very refined, in keeping with her station as a wealthy lady. The main challenge here was to faithfully depict the successive layers of fabric while retaining their transparent appearance. Such a task required great skill in the rendering of light and shade. Details make perfection, and perfection is not a detail. There are several details that would have been highly significant at the time. Portraits sometimes included clues or characteristic attributes alluding to the sitter's name. For instance, the juniper branches in the portrait of Ginevra de' Benci, also painted by a certain Leonardo da Vinci. Ginepro is Italian for juniper. But Mona Lisa holds nothing in her hands, and there are no physical elements that could provide clues about her identity. Shall we look at another detail? Namely, that truly essential, characteristic part of the portrait that is her smile. The elusive smile alluding to the surname of the lady's husband, Giocondo, from the Latin jucundus, meaning happy or jovial. How could his wife, La Gioconda, do anything but smile? But Mona Lisa's smile is much more than a clue about her identity. It also conveys the intricacy of human emotion. Nearly devoid of pigments, the thin layers of oil paint, sfumato, create a light haze, making the transitions from dark to light almost imperceptible. The blurred outlines create the illusion of movement in certain areas. The greatest challenge for any painter is making an image lifelike. Along with smiles and gazes, movements and gestures can also show a state of mind. For instance, hands communicate emotions and intentions to the viewer. Watch closely now. See how Mona Lisa turns to welcome us to her loggia. one hand lightly resting on the other. This backdrop is the result of a lifetime spent studying and carefully observing nature. The artist creates the illusion of depth by progressively softening edges and varying color hues according to distance. This is the principle of atmospheric perspective. In this imaginary landscape, we can see allusions to the history and slow formation of the world, the battle of the elements, the water shaping the earth, and man's attempts to clear a way for himself. I would love to fly over this make-believe landscape, wouldn't you?